And we're back for those of you just joining us with Yvonne Rogell, the bitter baker, who's here to talk to us about what? Or what are you here to talk to us about today, Yvonne?
I'm going to make focaccia today, actually, which is an Italian flatbread. So that's what I'm making today.
Okay, so tell us what is it and how do you get started?
Okay, I actually made this dough like a few days ago, and it's been fermenting in my fridge for about 3 days. And it's just water, flour, yeast, and some water and some olive oil. And essentially that's all you need like in a focaccia. Just lots of olive oil and sea salt. And let me see here. Typically, you can have I don't know. Have you ever had focaccia before?
Well, I think I have, but maybe you could describe it to us just so we make sure that our audience has too. And if you have a chance, anytime you can lift up an ingredient and show it to people, or maybe even tip the webcam down so we can look at what you're doing.
I should probably do that.
Yeah.
All right. So if anyone has ever been to Chinook's, that's the bread that they serve there. That's kind of what a focaccia looks like. It's like a flat Italian bread, kind of like, how do you say it? Like really spongy and usually a little bit greasy, but really, really good.
Spongy and greasy. That sounds great.
So what I'll do now, I'll just tip out the dough. Can you see the?
Yeah, that's good.
There? Okay, perfect. All right, so you can't see that here, but I have like a little bit of oil down here. And that's only because this dough is really, really wet, so it's like really hard. It's really sticky. So you'll just tip it out, and do you see all those bubbles?
Yeah, it looks kind of gooey.
It is gooey. Okay, so try not to like punctuate too many of the bubbles because you want to keep them. But what I'll do is I'll just split this in half. So I'm going to make 2 different kinds of focaccias today. It's going to be one with, I'll tell you here. I have sun-dried tomatoes, Kalamata olives, red onion, and Italian herbs.
Yeah.
So I'll just mix this up a little bit. That kind of.
And how did you prepare those special at all? The stuff that you're adding?
The what? Not especially. I just cut them up. The onions, I like to cut them like in really thin slices. You just chop the tomatoes really small pieces, and the olives just like in little, like little rings kind of things.
Okay.
So just do that, and then kind of stretch out the dough a little bit. It's going to be really, if you have like greasy fingers, it makes it a lot easier. So then just take like 1/3 of your filling and just spread it out like this.
Okay.
And then what you do is just fold it in thirds, like 1, 2, 3, like that.
Like a burrito.
Like a burrito, kind of. And then just flip it upside down. And I'm not sure if you can see that, but
yeah.
I have a parchment paper here with a little bit of oil on it, and just put it on there. And then it's going to rise for about 1 hour. And then you just do the same thing over again. Just stretch it out and put on the second third of your filling, and then just fold it back up again, and then it goes in the oven.
So just to make sure that I understand, the focaccia burrito that you just put on the parchment paper, you let that rise there for an hour, then you take it off again and you stretch it out and sprinkle all of the ingredients on it again and burritoize it again.
Right.
Then you put it in the oven. Okay.
Exactly. All right. And then the second one that I'm making is rosemary and olive oil focaccia, which is going to be a really good one. And what I did here is, it's stuck on the, I just chopped up some fresh rosemary and put it in olive oil. And if you have time, just let it sit for as long as you can. If you don't have time to do that, that's fine. It's going to taste great anyway.
And you don't have any salt in there, do you?
I don't. It's in the dough, but I'm going to sprinkle it on top when before it goes in the oven. And then just do the same thing. And then just let it I usually put plastic wrap on top of it. Just
Mm-hmm.
honestly don't know why, but I've heard that that's good.
Maybe it helps
So
keep it warm or something. The little dough babies stay
maybe,
warm.
yeah, probably. And why you want to fold it in thirds is because it helps like create tension in the dough, which makes it rise better.
Oh, interesting. Okay. And so then once we've done that, what's the next step? You said we do that twice and then it's in the oven. Does it cook for a very long time?
It cooks for about oh, hang on a second.
Oh no. I can't tell if that was a cooking accident or a technical accident or both.
That was just wet hands. Yeah, you let it cook for about, I usually do like 10 minutes at 500 degrees and then another 20 to 30 at 450. And
Okay.
then if it's not cooked like on the bottom, just flip it upside down and let it cook for a little bit longer. And actually, do you want to see what it looks like when it's done?
Yes, we do.
All right, hang on. Okay. So this is what the rosemary one will look like. Ta-da. I
Oh,
don't
it's
know. Can you see?
beautiful.
It's
Yeah.
really good. So ever since I started doing this, as soon as I get like little blisters on there,
Mm-hmm.
that makes me
Yeah.
really happy because that just tells me it's a good bread. And this is
So
what
red
the
blisters are a good thing.
bread blisters are a really good thing, and you want
Okay.
lots of them, and you want lots of like air bubbles, which you can. I don't know if you can see them, but
Yeah, those look like delicious air bubbles.
they are
And
full
what would
of
be
air.
something that you'd like to serve this with? Like, what's kind of like a typical meal that this would be good to serve with?
I would say pasta, or because the bread in itself is kind of heavy, maybe some like lighter pasta, or like some kind of like a Caesar salad or something like that. I think
Made
that
me
would be.
hungry.
Yeah, I probably won't have dinner tonight. This is all I'm gonna eat.
So tell us a little bit about, do you specialize in baking breads and European bread specifically? Like, how are you drawn to a recipe like this?
Well, recipe like focaccias is basically just because it's just like a really, really tasty bread. I don't, I wouldn't say that I specialize in any kinds of bread. I like making sourdough crisp bread.
Okay,
That's
that's your
one of my
specialty.
favorites. That would be my specialty. I like grussinis too. I make lots of grussinis.
So tell us a little bit about your blog, The Bitter Baker. What do you do there? What's the inspiration for that?
Um, I don't know. I mean, it's not, it's kind of new. I just started doing it this year. And so I've been doing it for like 4 months, 4.5. And why I started doing it from the beginning was just because I wanted to write down some of the recipes that I make. So I was like, I might as well put it on a blog. So I just can click on it whenever I want to make it. So, and I just kept doing it. So it's been kind of fun.
So for those of us that would want to find the recipe for focaccia, for example, we should go to bitterbaker.com
That's right.
to do so.
That's not on there yet, but it's going to be on there.
Well, maybe we can get you to publish it on the Seattle Globalist as well so people can find it there too.
Yeah, probably.
And speaking of, I wanted to make sure that we got a chance to talk a little bit about why you're here supporting the Seattle Globalist through doing this variety show. We're asking all of our guests to just talk a little bit about what role the Seattle Globalist plays in your life and why you think people should give big today.
Hi, Alex. Just I'm in the background there. Okay, so I have two things. One thing that I love about the Seattle Globalist is the way that you inspire young people to pursue careers within journalism. That's not very common anywhere from my experience, because as soon as you tell people that you want to be a journalist, they're like, oh, really? You know, why? It's never going to work. So I love that fact about you guys. I think that's really important. What else? I just love reading all your stories on the Seattle Globalist as well. It just it's such a huge variety of issues that you guys bring up, and that's something that really appeals to me because I'm interested in like everything. So it's a good place to go if you want to stay informed about important issues.
So you heard it here from the Bitter Baker. The Seattle Globalist is a good place to go if you want to stay informed about all kinds of issues. And I was also wondering if, as a European living in Seattle, if it sort of resonates with you specifically as part of an international community.
Yeah, I would say so.
Well, we look forward to seeing your recipe up on the Seattle Globalist, and also just a reminder that everybody can check out Yvonne's baking at thebitterbaker.com. And then finally, just to let you guys know that you are watching the Seattle Globalist Give Big webcast variety show. We're here today to encourage everybody to give big to the Seattle Globalist. We're looking to raise $7,000 to support independent, local to global, innovative journalism in your community. So please help us do that. And thank you, Yvonne, so much for your help, not only just today, but all the help that you've given the Seattle Globalist over the years. You're a good friend to our publication.
Thanks so much for having me. And good
Thanks,
luck.
Yvonne.
Hey.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care. We'll see you soon.
You too. Bye.